today.
Yeah.
Well, you're an elf. I'm a reindeer.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
a reindeer today.
True.
So, Merry
you Prancer?
Christmas! What?
Are you Prancer? Or Dasher?
I think I'm Blitzen.
Blitzen, okay.
Is it Blitzen?
So, isn't he the leader?
No, that's Rudolph.
Oh, no, but Rudolph becomes... Isn't Blitzen the leader before Rudolph?
Oh, yeah, Blitzen's
something
the...
like that. Yeah.
That's me.
Right.
I'm Blitzen.
I'm just an elf in the workshop.
Yeah. We are...
Back?
We're back. Are you doing your washing?
I didn't think anybody would hear that.
Oh, well, I reckon they will. But it's okay. It's totally okay. I'm like, what is that noise?
Yeah, no, I can
No,
go turn that
that's
off.
totally fine.
All right.
Stop now anyway.
You get it live.
Yeah, this is how we do it.
It is.
Uncut, unedited,
right.
just raw.
Yeah.
But we're here for our final episode of the year, our Christmas episode, our
Yes,
roundup,
we are.
our wrapping up of
Everything.
what I think is a pretty great season of Survivor so far.
Yeah. Look, what can you say? It's had a lot in it.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have a disappoint. Well, it kind of fizzled a
It
little.
was a fizzle. It's very similar to season 2 Australian.
Yeah.
Fizzled out. We did have one relative, we did have our Jericho, which was Nick.
Nick,
Who
right?
should have won, but was mentioned in the final tribal that he did peter out at the end by
I think John,
He
nailed him on that.
Yep.
His game, like these last 4 episodes, honestly, if he hadn't won immunity, he was going. Now, there's a criticism in here, right? That I know he's won, and I think he deserved to win.
Yeah, he deserved to win.
He deserved to win. But the way his social game fell away at the end,
yeah,
is a criticism of his social game, because a good player would have had relationships he could have worked with in that last 4.
Yeah, and also strategically, he fell away. To leave Mike to get to the final 3 was a foolish thing, I think.
Exactly. And
he had a perfect opportunity.
Didn't he vote at Alison? This is what I can't even understand. I really don't get this. Ever since Merge, Alison's name has always come up, right?
Why?
She's not this huge threat. I don't
know
understand.
what they're seeing. Is it just because she's, in her personal life, she's very intellectual? Like, she's a straight A student. They're worried that she'll talk them out. But I'm like, what is with Alison? Alison is looking like she's lost so much weight. She struggles to stand on anything balanced.
She's never won an immunity.
She may have come close, or she might have won ages ago.
But what I mean is, everybody was picking her early on as a big immunity threat. No.
Never delivered.
Right? Never delivered.
I think Alison got...
She had no story.
I think she was forced into this hole that they pigeonholed her as this threat, and she didn't even get to develop. She's like, well, what can I do out of this?
Exactly.
And she didn't know where to go. Because if she did try and play...
Everybody's beyond that.
Alison's a threat.
See? And that's what I can't understand, is this Alison... It's not a dislike, it's just this... She's a huge threat. It's like, a fire on the horizon. You're like, oh, but look at the fire.
Just in case.
But, Mike's standing behind me with a knife.
Yeah.
Mike was never pinged.
But it was just such a strange thing for someone who...
And she was never in the front.
No.
She never, you could understand it maybe if she orchestrated the blindside, had control of a group for a time, then she's lost power. You can understand people going, well, we've got to get rid of her.
And it made literally no sense to get rid of her over Mike.
None. And yet everybody, from the Davids to the Goliaths, have been going, even the Goliaths themselves are like, oh, we've got to get rid of this Alison,
Blew my mind, especially when Cara came up and was like, look, I think we can do it. And Davey has just gone home.
Yeah.
And he's announced to everyone, and I think from memory Davey did vote Nick anyway, but Davey announces, whoever orchestrated that has my vote. I need someone to... That was... All Davey was saying is, take out the guy who took me out.
Exactly. That was what Davey was trying to say there without actually saying it was, I'm putting a mark. Yeah. This is my legacy. If you took me out, I'm putting a mark on you.
Yeah.
And nobody listened.
No one. Well, look, Cara and gave it a crack again. Again, Cara gave it a crack.
Cara's instincts are so good, right?
Yeah.
You know, in that there's 4 crammed together here, so it's going to be a bit messy,
stuff, so
right?
We jumped to
we've
Davey,
jumped a little bit here.
Yeah.
But I really want to bring up Cara's instincts here. When she said, I want to take out Mike, I was like, yes! At that stage, she had the opportunity to take out Mike, actually stick her hand up in front of the jury and go, hey, look, I'm not just a passenger, right? I'm actually doing things here. And as well as I do,
Yeah.
you get down to 4 and you're doing stuff,
Yeah.
that looks a lot better.
It
right?
does, and it's because you see it easier.
Yeah.
There's only 3 other people that you're watching, so out of the 4, your moves are heightened because it's not as hidden.
And it's also harder to do. It's
Yeah.
harder to pull off a move. But and then she votes Alison. I was like, what are you doing?
And she votes Alison and she says, "I don't want you to play the idol correctly." It was never going to be played correctly.
No.
It would have been more embarrassing if you voted Mike.
Right?
This is a really interesting thing with Cara. Like, she had these moments of, you could be a really great player.
And it was almost like, I don't know if it's this, but it was almost like when it came to the crunch, she was scared to enact her own plan.
Yeah, she did.
And she was like, "Oh, Mike wants to vote Alison, so I'll vote Alison."
We'll do it. It's like, I would love to see Cara play again. On the fact that
great instincts.
She's got some instincts that she never followed through with,
Exactly.
and I think if she followed through, I reckon she could have gone. I reckon she could have sided up with Nick and Davey a long time ago.
Oh, absolutely. Look,
I
think if she went with her instinct, she's as good as Davey and Nick, because she's got all the others. She knows. She seems to know where the alliances are. She seemed to be able to have a good relationship with everyone.
But do you think maybe her instincts were there, but maybe she did this whole, if I do this, if I follow through with my gut, then I'll be seen as a target, and then I'll be seen as a bigger threat, like a Nick or a Davey. But in the end,
you got to be a target to win.
Yeah, this is the fine balance. It's like, you got to be. If you're not a target, Angelina.
Angelina, right?
If you're not a target, you'll get to the end. But what's the big deal of getting to the end? If you're a target, a Nick and a Davey, and it's like, and then on the outside, Nick and Davey being the minority, we said it's going to have to be the idol and immunities to get them through. And unfortunately, it was only the immunities that got else. If they had found the idol, and Nick almost took it off Angelina,
right?
That's kind of, you got to roll the dice and go, I'm taking a chance. And Davey and Nick did. Nick gets the end. Nick wins.
Yeah.
Cara never took the chances and she had these ideas and plans.
I think Mike played a really good game. All right, that's one thing I'd like to say. A really good style of game. Christian said something really weird when he voted for Mike, right, to win.
Yeah.
Christian said, "Oh, you played a revolutionary game. I hope there's more like that, right?" And I was like, even Gabby recognised Mike's gameplay, because it's really basic gameplay from the very first season, right? Which is, I'm sitting back, I'm a vote, and he doesn't orchestrate anything, right? And he never did, right? Oh, but I orchestrated the vote for Christian, and I had orchestrated the vote for Davey. Well, not really. I mean, everybody else wanted them too.
It's one of those things. It's like, yes, you may have orchestrated a Christian, you may have orchestrated a Davey, but you're orchestrating the obvious.
Exactly, you're orchestrating the obvious. Mike's resume at the end, and even he showed it, right, was nothing. It was just like, yo, look, I'm really happy about the way I came on and met the challenges. Yeah, and look, Mike I'm not taken away from that, but Mike didn't push boundaries. No. Mike played it safe. Absolutely. Made minor moves, or took charge of very minor moves that may be seen on the jury's side as something more bigger than they actually were. Yeah. But it's... Well, look at who voted for Mike, right? It was all his close allies. It was Alison, Cara. Yeah. And I think Christian was the only... Alison, Cara, Christian, and was there... One other. And it was a Goliath. Yeah. Right? But what I mean is that, except for Christian, they were all the people that he'd been playing with, right? Yeah. And it was like, well... If only the people you're playing with see the moves, if the others don't see the moves, they're not moves. Yeah, and that's like, it's... Yeah, I like the way you got to the end. I believe you shouldn't have got to the end because Cara, Nick, and Alison should have easily voted him out. Just because of that. Just because of how he was starting to... Yeah. Like I said, he's played it... Look, I give him a B minus. Oh, no, look, it's a B game. It was a B game. Right? But let's put it this way. Was his game any better in the end than Angelina's? Better, yes, it was, because it got votes. Right, because it got votes. But he's still only ended up... Like, Angelina, from the merge, right, has completely been off everybody's radar, right? She's never done anything. She's had no impact on the game, right? And she's made it too. Oh, no, she did have an impact. What? The rice. Oh, the rice. Sorry, which she mentioned. I love.
Yeah.
Was it Davey who said?
It's like, shut up with the rice. Like,
yeah,
it's like,
but he said it's not actually self-sacrifice.
yeah, it's not a selfless
Yeah.
act if you keep wanting people to give you something for it.
right? And I was like,
Yeah.
right. So I really love Davey. I think he's a great.
Davey should have won.
And look, I really liked, that Davey, when he was choosing his idol, prayed, and when he went up to vote this time, he prayed. But what I mean is,
I'm not a religious person.
I'm not either. But I really appreciate that
Okay.
his face there, and but what I mean is he's an honest person. He shows you what he is all the time.
And that's the thing. He's like, this is the game. This is outside of the game. And respect the game, guys. And he was always like that. Right?
Always.
It's
And when he voted for the best player he thought was sitting down there. Not I like Mike. I don't like Mike.
And that's what Mike's votes probably come from a more social element.
That's what I mean.
Liked.
Yeah, I think so.
And if he didn't say I regret the comment to Alison probably wouldn't have voted for him.
I don't
because she was wanting the apology for the nastiness,
probably.
and she got it, and he instantly jumped on it. He didn't. Yeah. He was that's what I regret, because it came from her, and he knew exactly why.
It kind of shows you why Alison's not a threat. Here she is on the jury, right? And her first question to Mike is about a personal issue.
Yeah.
Not a gameplay issue.
Nothing.
Right? And this is my first thing to Mike would have been, let's find out about your gameplay. Tell me, blah, blah, blah. But the other thing was, if I was marking him down for what he said, I would also give him the opportunity, without saying anything, of apologising. Let's see if he apologises in his answer.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't apologise, then he's just,
Exactly. And so, that sums Alison, why she was never threatened anyway.
Exactly. Never had the gameplay.
It's I was going to say, let's back up to Angelina's idol as well.
Oh, come on, the first 5 minutes of the episode, I was like, oh my god, don't tell me Angelina's going to get an idol, which she didn't, right? But it's like it's kind of like watching a kindergarten kid, right, trying something for the first time, isn't it? It was like, you see them fall down, you go, oh, look, they'll get up, they'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that hard.
But it's just, but the thing is, then she comes to talk about it at tribal.
Oh,
the final trouble. She's like, and I found an idol. I'm like, you asked for help.
When she was sitting at the reward, and she's like, hey guys, and I knew exactly what she was going to say, and I was like, this is just going, watching her gameplay in the beginning of the episode was just like...
Well, her gameplay was atrocious.
But it was stepping down.
Yeah.
It was stepping down. I thought it was a little low.
Then we got to her amazing plan.
I know, the show. The greatest show on earth.
Yeah, which, again, I'm so disappointed that they let Mike stay, because that was going to ruin the greatest show that Survivor's ever seen. No, that's a terrible idea.
What are you at 5, right? You're at 5 or 6, right?
Yeah.
And you go to the other players, hey guys, I've got this plan to make me
look good.
Look good in front of the jury. How are you guys with that? Yeah, we'll back you on that for sure.
If you were already, if hypothetically she was a chance to win.
Yeah, hypothetically.
That's the most delusional thing I've ever heard. Let me do this, and they're gonna love it, and I'm gonna look so amazing because I've done this, and it's gonna be this awesome, epic, mic drop moment. I'm like, this is. Oh my god.
That's right, it was so comical. Look, we love to comment on Debbie as delusional, right? But this is a new level.
That was just...
How are you saying...
It was the most delusional strategy I've ever heard. But I'm like, I just don't understand it.
Oh no, look, it's somebody... Look, this...
You know what would have been better? If she goes, this is only playable tonight... And this is ballsy though. This is only playable tonight, but I'm not going home, so I'm going to keep this as a token.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
why not? Why not?
And then show the jury that you're in control.
You're in
control. Know what's happening.
Exactly, right? Or and
get a souvenir.
Exactly, or do something wild, right? Play it for Mike. Or say play it for Alison. Keep Alison around. And send Mike home, or send Nick home, whatever.
That's the thing, it's like, Alison and I have been going, and then you've orchestrated this vote against us, and this is what I've been saying for quite a while that I'd love to do with an idol, is to orchestrate people to vote for someone, and save them, so I can go in and get rid of a different person. Like, holy shit, would that have been, I've been thinking about that move quite often because it's one of my ideal ways to play an idol. It works at 5.
Absolutely works.
It works at 5.
How would that be? Oh, Alison, I've just saved you, right? And I've just sent Mike or
And you're
whoever it
saving
is
the
at
person
home.
you've apparently just got this relationship with that you can't work with.
That's right.
There is just, it would have been that would have been amazing. Like, I would have gone, fuck yeah.
But so would the jury. The jury would have gone, that's an amazing play.
That's a play.
Right? That's a ballsy move at 5.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have been sitting there at the final tribal going, oh, you know.
No, she would have been sitting there at the final tribal going, excuse me, before you talk to someone else, can you talk to me first? I've got something to say as well. Please listen to me. I've got something to say. I'm like, God. Angelina.
Look, as soon as Angelina started, as soon as they went to Mike, and now
And she
Mike,
pulled it
and then
back.
she's like, excuse me, I was like, shut up. Just shut up.
No,
Take your time.
I think she
Take
knew.
your time.
She knew. As soon as they skipped her, because always one person gets skipped in the 3. Always one person gets skipped, and when you're getting skipped, you've played you're the goat.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, Nick did the same thing though. Mike gave his answer at one stage, and Nick had already given his answer.
Yeah,
but he rebutted
yeah.
Mike's answer, and he did it well.
Yeah.
But
I hope
Angelina's game, like Nick's game, fell apart at the end a bit, right? A lot.
It did fell apart at the end, but then I think his redeeming feature.
But how do you go from Angelina's game to falling apart?
Yeah, I know.
You know, when you're supposed to be at the bottom, the only way you're supposed to go is up.
You don't dig a hole.
You don't dig a hole, but Angelina found a way.
I'm pretty sure we can get to the centre of the earth if I keep going.
It was an amazing one, but I have to say this, and I'm not trying to have a go at it personally, but she has supplied some of the best laughs I've ever had out of Survivor this season.
She's had some moments, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has, right? I've had giggles watching her antics throughout and when she pulled the whole, I'm sacrificing myself for rice.
Like, please give me a jacket.
Yeah, right. Please give me the jacket.
I'm now on top.
Right, I'm on top.
It's like,
and now it's like, I nearly killed myself trying to get an idol. It was a 2.
It was like it was 100 feet.
Yeah, it's a 10.
Yeah, it's like it's probably maximum 8 foot. Jeff literally tells us like 100 feet.
Yeah,
it was 8 foot.
It was 8 foot.
She's like, yeah, but I climbed to the top. It's probably around 50 feet. You got to do that. You got to embellish your little things.
You've got to put a little bit of spice into it.
But to her credit,
yeah, what? She carried the ladder?
No. To her credit, and it got everyone when she said she fell trying to look for the idol from a tree.
Oh, that is true.
That's actually very. That was subtle, and it got people off board. It took people away from idol thought and took them onto, is she okay?
It's the first bit of gameplay.
That's a very clever move.
That is a clever move, and it worked. Right?
It worked very well, and even Davey was like, "That's what you were doing."
Yeah.
At the end, he's like, "Well done,
well done." That's
well
right.
done.
Didn't
get her a vote, but that's her one game move.
Well, let's put it this way: if she had played at that level all the way through, she would have won the game.
Yeah, well, that was
right, because that's an award winning. Yeah, that's
performance that it had a person who was very in tune with the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like because I was half expecting Davey to go, I don't buy this.
Like, Nick finding the second idol, he was onto that straight away.
And I thought Davey would be onto this.
So did I.
But he was not. He was not. Credit to Angelina.
Absolutely.
If she had done that properly, if she'd played the idol to save an Alison and vote out a Mike or vote out... Obviously can't vote out Nick because Nick
she could have got Cara. She could have got Mike
Cara because Davey was gone then.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is, like, if she could have pulled that, completely changed the game in one vote, in front of the jury, all of a sudden you're walking into that final 3 with a real big resume. Like,
and you want to show, if you want theatrics, do your fake idol, let her play it, and go, no, I'll play the real one for her. Like,
exactly. Well, how would that have been?
If you wanted
Alison comes up, this is a false. Yes, I can confirm this is a false idol. Then you walk up and go, okay, I'm playing this idol, Jeff. Yes, this is a real idol. I'm playing for Alison. Boom. Right there, you've instantly got the jury. Focused on you.
Exactly. Right? And that is what Christian was talking about. That's a game-changing play.
Absolutely.
That hasn't been done.
Game-changing,
especially then, if you've got an idol at 5 and it can only be used at 5. This is your perfect opportunity to completely take control, because the next challenge is 4.
Yeah.
There is no... That's it.
Exactly.
We know now, and the way it works now is beautiful. Make sure you know how to make fire. That's it.
That's it.
Because if you don't win immunity, as long as you're really good at making fire, you're getting in.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And you can be the person they don't like.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And you've made an absolute power play move at 5, like a brilliant 5 move.
That's right. Exactly.
Taking control, being in control of that vote, outranked the person with the immunity idol.
Exactly.
With the immunity necklace.
Beautiful. But anyway, she didn't. It was just.
It was
just
pathetic, and then everyone. It was a waste of an idol play. There was no theatrics behind it because there was no way that idol could ever be played correctly unless they voted her out.
Exactly.
There was no way. So why play it?
The only way she could have profited was make sure all the votes are on one person, like you said. She picks who she wants to go home. She plays it. She saves her enemy.
Yeah, saving the enemy would have been the best right then. Because everyone knows, it's going to be you, Alison. Alison knows. She's like, what if it wasn't? What if you and I put aside everything?
Exactly. It's just a $1 million mistake.
Yeah,
$1 million move. That was $1 million move.
Yeah, it really was. For someone who hasn't really done much,
Exactly.
she could have played her, I've been fighting, I've been doing all this sort of stuff. But that move is $1 million move. It's a game-changing move. It's something we've never seen before.
$1 million. I think Cara not voting Mike, right?
$1 million move.
$1 million move.
Cara would have been in there. And
Absolutely.
I think Cara's gut instincts.
They're really good.
Strategically, she was better than Mike. Mike coasted.
Coasted all the way.
Cara really could have, and even and Nick said it. He's like, and this is what blows my mind that Nick couldn't vote him out. He's like, I just want one vote. Mike can't give me one vote this whole time. He's always promised me stuff, and Nick should never. Yes, he wins. Nick's fine. It doesn't matter. But
Nick at the end there, you're exactly right. Look, at that stage, Nick should have been trying to work angles. Oh, the guy just basically blindsided me, right? And now I'm going to vote with him again to get rid of Alison.
Yeah, that's not what Davey said when he left.
Yeah, exactly. Try to work it around. Maybe you would have. Well, actually, I think Cara came to him, didn't she?
Yeah,
Alison
Cara came
said
to him.
Mike, right? Why not do Mike? What's the big deal about doing Mike?
Mike. You could claim that, and it's hard because when you got that fight, this is what worked in his favour to do Mike. Yes, it might have been Cara's idea.
So what? Yeah.
You're wearing the necklace.
Exactly.
In this situation, the person with the necklace generally seems to have a bit more of a say.
Yeah.
So the jury is going to be looking at that. They're not going to know it's going to be Cara's move. Maybe Cara will say something, but it's one of the same sort of things. Nick was claiming all those other moves when it was a team effort move.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a team effort to get rid of Mike if they did that. Cara can try and claim that, but ultimately Nick can challenge that as well.
But even if she does, his resume was never about the last 3 votes.
No.
The last 2 votes, right? His resume was always about the early gameplay and, the really strong thing of I've won the last 3 immunities.
That's the other thing. It's
right?
He
always had that.
So, even though he's day 1, he was a disgrace. But did he learn real quick?
Yeah, boy, did he pick it up.
And he picked it up within those first 3 days. He was on the ball, and then he didn't slow down until the Carl vote.
Exactly.
The Carl vote flipped him, and he started.
That's right. When Gabby and Christian flipped to get rid of Carl, that's when his game blew up, and he never recovered.
But his strength is an immunity run at the end.
Absolutely.
3 back-to-back
to get into final 3.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
That's a saving grace.
Yeah,
it's like, you know what? My back was against the wall. I had to do A, B, and C. You guys would have voted me out. I was the only David left. Great little story, and I did it.
And that's the other part of the story. Everybody on that jury knew that if he hadn't won those immunities, he was gone. He was on the jury. So everybody knew his story.
Yeah.
There was no real mystery there. But I liked, when he was talking to doing his thing, right? He was explaining his social game. He was like, and I had these alliances. We even named it. He said
the rock stars.
You're right, the rock stars. But he was like, and to Elizabeth it was something else.
Yeah,
and to
Kentucky
something. And then to Christian was Mason Dixon. So he kind of demonstrated there that he had alliances across the group.
Yeah, he did.
So he did a really good job.
He had some good strategic and social gameplay.
I have to say, in the final speeches, I thought Mike would have performed a little better as a film writer.
Mike's
But
you know what?
Yeah,
I believe there was a lot cut out of that.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Well, when Jeff says we're ready to move on, And
True,
Christian goes,
true.
"Oh fuck no!"
Yeah, yeah.
Like
that's
he's
right,
like,
yeah.
"Oh fuck no,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
not doing
that's
that."
True. Yeah, yeah.
And then next thing you know, we've moved on with one
Exactly,
extra question.
that's
I'm like,
right.
"Nah, there was more," and
There
I
was
would have
more.
loved to have seen. I'd love to
Oh.
see an unedited final tribal.
Yeah, they would have been good. But I think at the end, though, you know, Nick's profession came to his aid. He spoke really well. And
Yeah, he did.
He didn't do what Sean did in
Last season,
Australian, right? He didn't present it like a lawyer.
No.
He didn't stand up and go, "This is my case." He just talked to them like a person.
And I think, you know, it's funny. He did talk to him like a person. He did use his underdog status. He did use his strength. He did use all this sort of stuff. There was a moment he brings up, and I thought this was I thought this was not the way to go.
Yeah.
But he brings up his mum dying of an overdose.
Yeah, I thought that.
However, Mike then brings up his, and Mike looked like he was just pushing for tears.
I know. Look, you know when he cried when he was talking about, I've met all these challenges, and you looked at Alison and she was having a tear up or something,
Yeah.
right? I was like, what?
I was just like, whereas, yes, there's a store, I get the
But the good
sympathy
thing-
vote with your mum dying of an overdose.
but-
Don't use it. Don't use
But
it.
the good thing I think that Nick did, right, and this will go back to, you know, millennials versus Gen X, right?
Mhm.
When Adam, I think it was Adam,
Yeah.
won, right? And he brought up his mother.
But
right?
well, yeah.
And he had a big tear up right at the end, and
But
that's
she-
why
yeah.
he won, right?
Yeah, I know, but
I really
that
did
was
like
a
that.
crazy story though, where the fact that he got home from the island, hadn't known he'd won, told his mum he won, and then she died.
No, she died before he got home.
No.
No, she died before. She did.
No,
But
you're-
anyway.
Oh,
But anyway.
can someone fact check this? Because I'm 100% right.
No,
Because there was the thing in the bed, and he tells her.
No. Listen, but anyway.
Fact check it. People out there, fact check it. Or I'm going to fact check it. When we're back,
Ah.
I'm just going to tell you I'm right, and you're going to drink something
No,
horrendous.
no. All right. But what I liked about Nick was he brought it up, but he moved on.
Yes, he did.
It wasn't about her
It did,
dying. It was
yeah.
about she died of an overdose.
And this is
now
who I am because of it and what I
do
Yes.
because of it, right? It wasn't, sad is me.
Yes.
It was, this is what I do about it.
Mhm.
And I think if he had have just left it as she died, I think that would have been just
Yeah,
melodrama.
Yes.
Turning it into, this is how I've made it, tried to make something positive out of it.
Yeah.
Was really good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And that, unfortunately, for Mike, is like, oh, I've grown, you know, I've met all these challenges, and that's great. That is great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it is, but
so
playing
what?
the tears, it just
Yeah.
felt like they were just crocodile tears to me.
Exactly,
Like, they didn't.
that's right.
They weren't coming from
No.
that. That's how I felt. I'm like, you're
Yeah.
going for the emotional heartstrings, and that's if you get emotional, I don't mind. But if you're doing it as a form of trying to sway the jury for votes,
Yeah, that's bad.
to me
And it
that
can be really transparent.
yeah, and that's what I saw that as. Like, whereas, you know, if you're getting choked up because it is emotional, but if you're just pleading for something, I've grown, I'm a better person because of this experiences, that's not a good strategical final finish.
Everybody can say that. That's on there. Everybody can, on that jury, and
Yeah.
then the three can sit there and go, I've really grown because of this
100%.
experience.
Yep.
I've met challenges I didn't know I could meet. I've
Mhm.
experienced challenges I never thought I could, right?
Yep.
Everybody there can say
Everyone's
exactly that.
So you're not, so it's really hard to play that.
One of the interesting part of the jury was Gabby, right? She actually said to Mike, and this is when Mike was talking about his strategy,
Mhm.
about how I was offering Final Two to everybody,
Yeah.
right? And this is why I think it's funny that Christian said he was a revolutionary payer, because Gabby said when he was saying that, yeah, I thought you were really transparent about that. That's Gabby. Like, not a super brain at the game or anything. And she was like, yeah, that's just,
But
I
she's
thought
maybe
that was really
more connected
transparent.
with human emotion.
Oh,
She's
well,
very emotional.
But all I'm saying, though, is Mike's gameplay that he was trying to boast about
Yeah.
was pretty plain and transparent. It wasn't very evolved,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and then yes, that's.
Like, I mean, there's plenty of players
then-
who've gone around
but that-
and gone, Final Two, Final
But
Two,
here,
Final Two.
but for Christian to say that is also, and we've talked about Christian's game as well. Christian's game,
Oh,
Christian was very, very likable, and they talked about it in the reunion about how socially adept he was, and his what he thought were weaknesses
and
were in fact his
strategically
strengths. But as far
blind.
as far as strategic goes, unfortunately, Christian lacks quite a lot. He has to be told what to do. So to see. For him to say that about Mike's game, it does not surprise me at all. It actually it heightens
Probably
the
a
fact.
good point, actually. Yeah.
It heightens the fact of Christian's weak strategic
Absolutely,
gameplay.
yeah. If you think Mike's played a revolutionary game, and it's really just basic gameplay, right?
Yeah.
then you've got
It's
no
basic and
strategy.
it's safe.
Yeah, it's very basic and safe, right? And it's been played by so many players throughout the history of Survivor. You're right. Christian's got no idea about strategy at all.
He may be really good at puzzles.
Yeah.
He may be really good at socially. Like, he's just, you know, and it's funny. It's like when you get out of high school, once you're yourself, people just like you for being yourself. And he was so himself. Like, and that's why he was so endearing, and that's why I would 100% want to see him come back.
Yeah.
Strategically, nothing. He had to be told. He had to be ghosted along.
One other interesting thing out of the tribal was, like, I really liked John, what John said to Nick about his... Yeah, John was really on the point about Nick's game falling away. Yeah. But the other thing I really liked was John said, pinholed Nick as the ringleader for getting rid of him. Yeah. And now normally a lot of... Well, not normally, but a lot of people may be a bit about that, right? But John was like, that was a really good move, well thought out. And that, but if we go all the way back to that vote where John went out, it was Nick and Davey. Like, Christian wasn't a part of it all. No. Only in the sense of, like, he was a recipient and was told to vote for John. Yeah. Right? He had none of that. I thought it was, way back in the episodes, I thought it was Nick, Christian, and Davey.
Because they all voted the same.
All voting the same, and they all had the same thoughts, and they were all as good as each other. But now, looking back with hindsight, Christian was just lucky that Davey and Nick
brought him in
several times.
Every time.
Without them, he was gone a long time ago.
And then emotional Gabby brings Christian in to get rid of Carl.
I know.
Like, it's a Gabby wanting to get rid of Carl. It is not a Christian. It's Gabby feeling upset that she's not included, and Christian siding with Gabby. Yeah. It's not a strategic move on Christian's part.
It's an emotional move. It's just like, my closest compatriot wants me to vote Carl.
And wants me to vote Carl.
I'm going to do that.
And that's a really great move. Yeah. It was a great move.
Well, I don't know if it was a good move for his game. It blew up. It blew up Nick's game, Davey's game. Like,
it didn't blow up Nick's game. Nick won.
No, it blew his game up.
Oh, yeah.
From then on, he was really...
But as far I feel like strategically, if Gabby and Christian could have held, you know...
I'm not saying they should have kept voting with the Davids, but it shows you Christian's lack of strategic thought.
100%.
Gabby wants to vote Carl.
Gabby wants to vote Carl. Great strategic idea.
But is it good for my game? That's what he didn't ask. Is it good for my game?
His game was, as long as I'm keeping... Gabby's my closest ally.
Like, but I know...
There wasn't much outside of this closest ally thought.
I know.
How do I get to the end? There wasn't any of this. It was just like...
I said it, way back when. I said, she'll bring him down, right? Because he was thinking, my job on this island is to keep her happy. That was
they kind of brought each other down.
Absolutely.
You know, she finds out he's got a girlfriend and votes and wants to get him out. You know, like that happens, and I started actually reading a lot of people online were saying the same thing.
Really?
Yeah, many people. But
look, I'm not going to say no. I didn't think it was there. You know,
that happens. It's an emotional reaction. I believe quite other people kind of think the same thing. Emotional reaction to get rid of Christian. She goes home. Next episode, Christian goes home. They self-imploded on each other.
Oh, exactly. That's right. Look, this is what I've got for 2 hours of...
Yeah, here's the funny thing.
It's like a half page.
We had... And it reminded me very much of the Australian season.
It just sort of petered out a little.
It was... But how do you go from two back-to-back amazing tribals? Amazing tribals, great blindsides,
history
great play.
The game, amazing.
Yeah, great play, great idle work, great advantage use. So many really awesome moments back-to-back.
Exactly.
And then, some pretty good gameplay afterwards as well. It wasn't just that. Either side of that, there was some good strategical moves on either side.
That's right.
How do you, when people are at that level, or when there is these really good strategic moments, how do you keep the game exciting at the end? Because yes, it was great to watch. Yes, I'm happy Nick won. But you're right, and it was a bit of it was a slog to get through 2.5 hours of this.
I know, but is this a good move on their part to condense, say, the last 3 tribals into one episode? I'm not actually sure it's not that bad a move, because it actually
tightened everything up.
Everything up quite a lot, and I didn't think it was good before I saw it, but now looking back, I think it's a better format.
Yeah,
makes it, and I think maybe people were falling off in the tail. like viewers? Like, you know,
I don't
because
know,
the
I
last
guess
3 or
they-
4 episodes are normally...
they do get...
And then you watch last.
And then you just watch the finale.
And then watch the finale,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So maybe they're trying to fix that problem.
Yeah,
You know?
and because we don't... And beforehand, which we always used to have, is... You know, the final 3 journey to the end where we pass all the torches.
The torches, yeah.
You know, that's a waste of screen time.
It is.
We just, let's get
They
through
did it in episode 1, season 1. I've disliked it ever since then.
Yeah, it's like,
Right?
well, what do you... it is a
We're
waste.
going to see half of them in the tribal anyway.
Yeah, I don't
Right?
care about you
No.
reflecting.
No.
Like, I get it, that's where it was,
That's
but
right.
Again, this is the difference between 37 going to 38 seasons and now
Yes.
Australia, we still do this.
That's
because
right,
we're only
I
3
know.
seasons in and we don't... This is...
I don't need to see the
We
torches.
can- yeah, we
I
can
don't
get
need
rid of
to
that.
reflect on them.
Let's see some more challenges.
Yeah, that's right.
And the strategic side of things, if there is anything.
And the really good thing about this season was for the final challenge, they had my favourite challenge.
I know, I thought you would have loved
Right?
it.
I love that challenge.
I thought you would have
It
loved
is
that.
Awesome.
But that was actually really good. We had a really... So the final... Was it the final 4 was the buckets, yeah?
Yes. Final 4.
With
No,
the
final
bucket?
4 was the balls. In
Oh,
the
sorry, yeah. Final 5
Five
was
was
the
the
bucket.
Yeah.
I watched that on YouTube recently, like that exact challenge, because one of my Survivor suggested videos popped up and it was Survivor Vertigo. I'm like, I'll just watch that. I'm killing time.
Yeah,
And it was that exact challenge. And it was,
okay.
I think was it, I can't remember who.
Interestingly enough, something Jeff said throughout the season, I know this is completely out of the blue, but you know where they hold the ball with the 2 sticks?
Yeah.
I never realised that. I'd only ever done that once before, and that was in...
That was recently they've only ever done that.
Yeah, they only ever did it... Culpepper won it, right?
Yeah.
But in that season, which was Game Changers, I think it
Yeah.
was, right? But I never realised they'd never had it before.
Every
Until
now and
then.
then there's a new one. But yeah, I think what was the one with Davey before Davey went? What was that? That was a big one, wasn't it?
Oh, the 63-piece
Yes.
puzzle?
That was the big puzzle.
Wow,
but there
big
was
puzzle.
What else was there? You had to.
Oh, you had to fill up the water, get the key, run over. Oh no,
No,
sorry,
that was the other one.
That prior to that was
There was you had to go. Do you have to go over some obstacles and latch the ball?
That's
in,
right, you
pull
had
the
to-
ball down.
That's you had to latch the thing, get the steps, build your
Yeah,
steps,
there was a step
then do
puzzle,
the
do
puzzle.
the puzzle. So that was like, you know, I feel like that was a fairly decent size.
Yeah.
Then we got to another tougher sort of, you know, keep balance, get the water, all this sort of stuff
It was multiple things going
on. And then, because I do love those ones where we do get the endurance, we get the strength, we get the puzzle maker, we get a bit of
I was
everything.
hoping we'd get the maze.
The big maze.
I love the maze.
Yeah. Or, which I haven't seen for a while, they had to run off to different areas.
Yes,
into
the
forest
jungle.
and pick a thing,
pick
a
stuff
puzzle
up,
bit.
come up, come back.
I don't mind those, and then come back through the obstacle course or whatever. I like those ones.
So do I. I think they're great.
But to finish with such a simple one,
Yeah,
it's
it's
always
simple,
nice.
but
Yeah.
it's really diabolical.
Yeah, like I know you love it because it's
Yeah.
like after 38 days,
oh.
your mind doesn't have the process to keep focus.
Keep the focus. That's the hard part. It's
Mhm.
keeping your focus. But it takes endurance. It takes your thought,
Mental stamina,
everything,
coordination,
right? To do it. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
look
a
like
good-
much. You
it's just a
stand there in your
focus one.
lounge room, you can do it, right? Dum 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 dum.
Yeah.
After 39 days, very
Yeah,
different
well,
story.
but how long could you do it, and how many balls could you do it for in your land?
Well, that's the thing. I think they got up. Did they get
They
up to
only,
4?
no, they were just about to pop the fourth in, and
Ah.
Kara stuffed up.
Right.
It was a really quick one.
But I've seen it go to 4 balls, and 4 balls is like,
Yeah.
you know, it's amazing to watch. And they don't last very long.
No.
I've never seen it go to 5.
I can't remember, but yeah, they were just about to get to 4, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, now it's going to get interesting. And
Yeah.
Kara just stuffed up.
Yeah. So no, look, I'm going to say I think if they keep the format, I don't mind.
Yeah, I was happy with it. It was tighter.
compress.
Like it was,
Because
it was long. It was long, but
it may,
and not much happening. That was nothing exciting. It's like it's hard to watch that much when it's just standard.
and I think that's the reason they've cut it, right? Because there's not much going on.
Yeah.
And they've just compressed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most seasons are like that.
Yeah.
It's very rare to actually get a really interesting political battle going.
And when you get to the last, like I said,
5
it would have been great. Like we were talking about, if Angelina busted out the
Oh.
island in an amazing way like that,
That's
that
right.
would have been exciting. But it does start to get to the.
Well, the other thing,
All right.
the Angelina thing at the end, right? If you're at 5 and it's the last chance to play your idol, what do you got to lose?
Exactly. Like, take a chance, and her chance
Yeah.
didn't put like. I guess it's just her lack of strategic thought of what.
Yeah.
If I play it for myself, I'm not going home. What does that do?
Yeah, what's it do?
What is the? There is no.
There's no up.
There's no. Yeah. There's no benefit to that.
It's just you didn't lose.
But if I played it for the person, other people want to go home and took some control.
Ah, there's an up.
There is so. That's what the jury's going to look at,
That's right.
because they're not going to look at this whole charade of the fake idol and
Exactly.
the bullshit there.
The
And,
charade of the fake idol lasts as long as it takes from Alison to walk out of that tribal and into the Ponderosa.
but it didn't even do that, because she'd already been teed up. She goes,
I know.
I'm pretty sure it's a
It's
fake idol,
but I'm playing it anyway.
I'd be silly to not try it. And then Angeline's like, "Ooh, this is working. This is working."
But actually, you know what it is? Remember when Adam got Jay to take the Fox idol?
Mm-hmm.
Remember what a big move that was?
Great move.
Great move, right? Jay played that idol and Jeff was like, this is not an idol. And Jay was like,
Holy shit.
all right, I'm going home. Right? He knew
Well,
straight
and that's
away,
what
right?
she wanted. That's the effect she wanted.
She wanted,
but you can't get that effect by staging it.
right? That's what I
You
meant.
can't, because
It's
then
like-
people
but it's
talk.
like
There's
she's-
5 people.
It's like she's watched that episode, right? And gone, if I ever get an idol,
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do that. You know?
Yeah.
It's almost like she's tried to copy it
It was painful.
because it's like, oh, well, that's such an amazing move.
But-
And then she tried to copy it.
But
it
if
was
she if she sat there and thought about this is power, how do I use it to my
Yeah,
advantage?
exactly.
You've actually got a pretty exciting final, like one of the few final tribals left, because it does get to that point where it's like, I want to go with these people, because and then the next thing,
Yeah, no.
Nick decides to take Angelina. We haven't even talked about this.
I think it was a really good move.
It was amazing. It was the best move. Yes.
I was sitting there and go, don't take Mike and Cara.
Yeah, he's
You
like,
know,
he goes, yeah, I won't, but he also said it in a great way that I like. He's like, my percentage of winning lowers if I'm against both of you.
Yeah, exactly. I love the way he said that. It was a really political way of saying
he's
it,
not.
right?
Yeah, I thought that was great. It's like, he's right. Those two are stronger.
Oh, they are.
If they're both there,
My chance of
my
winning.
chance decreases. It's
Decrease.
not out. I'm not
No.
going to win,
No.
but it lowers a bit. If I take her, my chances are higher.
That's
It was
right.
never a certainty to win, and he knew that, and I really liked that approach. But Angelina was like, my gameplay has got me here.
Yeah.
He's taking me. I'm like, Angelina.
No, wait. When that was when I had another giggle moment. Was when Angelina was like, what was it? I'm a really close ally of Nick's, and I know he'll pick me. And I was like, when? Since when? Right? There's somebody who doesn't even know where they're sitting.
Yeah, but she's never known where she sat.
No, that's
Apart
right.
from the bottom, and then when
She's got no capacity to sit there and say,
She knew
how does my game look compared to Nick's?
Yeah,
or
she knew she
compared
was
to
on the
Mike's?
bottom of the Goliaths and tried to jump across, but never really knew where she sat when she
No.
jumped across. She was
No.
just there. She never made inroads socially.
Look, the funny thing about Angelina is, look, I don't care if Mike won that last immunity challenge, Cara won that last immunity challenge, right? Angelina was always going to final 3.
Yeah, no matter who won, even
Exactly.
Angelina, she was final. She was a certainty.
She was certainty to go to final. I was thinking that you've booked a place and you don't even know
Yeah,
it.
she
right?
has no idea she's got there.
Yeah, exactly. Right. She could have sat down in that final challenge and just go, "You guys sort it out." She
Yeah,
could have.
yeah.
Because she's going no matter who wins
Exactly.
that.
She and that's the thing is, and Kirsty did it well in season 1 Australia.
Yeah.
If you're gonna ride coattails to the end, or
Have a damn good speech.
but be aware that that's what you're doing.
Exactly.
And own that's what you're
Own
doing.
what you're doing. Exactly.
Don't. But she didn't know that's what she had no idea.
No.
That's the thing. You got to be self-aware to go. You know what? Clearly, they're all taking me.
Look,
Now I've got to start to plan out why I played this game for that reason.
Nick made the best choice taking Angelina.
100%.
And I'll almost bet my bottom dollar that he would have preferred Cara to have won that fire challenge,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
But only by a little bit.
Yeah, it's marginal.
Marginal, right? I don't think Cara was a bad player or
I
anything.
can't, but I don't know how she did so bad at that fight. She looked like.
Well, you know, when they were practicing, she was
She's
like
all over it.
getting it all the time.
The edit really. I was like, oh god.
Right? When I was watching her there, you can. It normally happens in the fire challenge, though, doesn't it? It's kind of like you see one person sitting there,
Yeah.
and then you see the other person like, and then boom, and it's on. And the other person just sits there. The the final something. It's
Well, that's
still.
the thing. Cara got it at the start.
I know.
Because I'm like, Cara's got a nice husk
Yeah,
going. I thought
yeah.
she was going to have this.
All she had to do was
She couldn't keep it alive.
Yeah,
She
exactly.
just, yeah.
But Mike's, I thought was going to go out, and it built up.
And it built up.
Oh.
Well, it went out, I think, once and then almost went
Yeah.
out a second time, but he
Yeah.
managed to just get that spark. And I guess
Yeah.
because once he got it enough,
Once you
there
get
was
that-
still that heat.
yeah,
That heat was there, so it was easier to catch and hold
That's
a bit
right.
longer.
Yeah.
Whereas Cara never got that heat. But you are right. I want to see a fire challenge.
Which goes like both.
and
of
it's
them.
like, oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god.
One snaps,
right?
then the other snaps,
That's
and it
right.
was like it was seconds between.
That's
them.
right.
I'd love to see that. But that said, I did want to bring that up. I'm like, oh yeah, because this fire making is, in the grand scheme of Survivor, is a relatively new process to the final. Like the new,
Yeah.
more
That's
flowing
right.
tribal council
Yeah.
is a new process. I like this better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
so
much
do
like.
I
I much
do.
prefer the fact that the person in control can't take two people.
Which I always thought was too overpowered.
Yeah.
Too overpowered.
Yeah. He or she takes the one.
Yep.
And then the other two still have a chance. I
That's
really
right.
like that.
It lets a dark horse get in.
It does,
It
and
gives them an
or it
opportunity.
also lets two really strong competitors.
Well,
get
what
in.
I mean is like, you know, you go to Final Four,
Mhm.
and I don't have to sit there and go, well, I've got to win immunity. In the sense of like, oh yes, I do, but what I mean is, even as a dark horse, I have even if those three are going Final Three, I still have a chance of knocking one
I guess
down.
it lets a Dom and a Wendell situation.
Exactly.
Whereas like, well, got to get rid of Dom now, got to get rid of Wendell now.
That's it.
Well, you can't now.
That's
You've
right.
left it too late because they still have a chance. They're going to make
Exactly.
fire and they can get themselves back against you.
Exactly.
The biggest competitor, you've got to try and get rid of that one stage before.
Exactly. Exactly right.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I like the fun. I think Survivor's going well with its formatting.
Yeah,
but
it's
anyway.
good. Last week you were concerned.
I know I was, but
Well,
now
look,
I've
we've
seen
got-
it. I'm like, it's not bad.
So, well, does that wrap up the episode?
It is the episode and the season.
Right. Well, do we discuss what are your thoughts of Extinction Island or whatever it's called? Joe's back with a fun mustache. Or did you not see it?
No,
That's-
I did not see it. I didn't.
That's
I
what that is. I'm like, hang on a
didn't-
second. I'm looking at him. I'm like, he's giving me nothing, and he's trying to bluff his way through this,
No,
and he's
because-
failing
I know.
atrociously.
I know. I thought, what can I do here? Because I actually watched the end of the votes and everything like that.
Wait, you didn't watch the reunion?
I didn't. It's only about 15 minutes, but I was
Yeah,
like,
it's only 15 minutes.
But this is what I've got. It's just a reunion, right? I didn't really mind too much, right?
Oh, actually
It
wasn't
was
a
very
bad
late
reunion.
at night when I watched it. But what I mean is, I was just like, oh, it's 15 minutes. I'm going to go to bed, right? And there won't be anything in it, right? So
Well, it
I
was funny,
forgot. Jeff always announces.
He
at the
always
end,
announces
right?
the next thing. Anyway, what you did miss is obviously.
Have returning players, are they?
So basically, before I get to that, they did talk about is Christian and Gabby, is their friendship still okay and they're still friends? So I don't know what's happening, but I reckon they'll hook up one time in the future. They discussed everyone's like, you know, the top people.
Yeah.
They also discussed the guy, Pat, who got evacuated
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
But what my favourite thing was Natalie.
Yeah.
Is it Natalie?
Or Natalia.
Natalia, the one who was always so angry and had no.
Voted out before the merge.
Yeah.
Natalia.
And Thingo was like, "Can I have your jacket? Can I have your jacket?" Angelina was like, "Please."
Oh, no, that was Natalie.
Yeah, Natalie. Can I have your jacket? That one.
Yeah.
The
obnoxious one.
Yeah, the CEO one.
Yeah.
She was upset with the way she was portrayed. And Jeff said, "Well, I've heard from the producers that you were upset with how you were shown on the show." And she's like, "Yeah, I don't think that's anything like how I would be, and that's not what I was like." And Jeff said, "Look, I love that that's what you say.
Yeah.
I'm saying from my experiences of you at Tribal and me watching the show, because obviously Jeff doesn't see that part.
Exactly.
He goes, I got that's exactly who you were." It was actually a really funny moment.
Really
But
nice.
but he's like, you know, and Jeff does it so well, and he goes, "I'm going to put it out here. Did anyone else feel like, because this could go bad for me, did anyone else feel like you weren't portrayed in the way that you were?"
Yeah.
And no one else portrayed that. Except Angelina was like, "Yeah, I'll put it up just for the sake of it." I think I would
Angelina just doing it. I'll
She's
put
like,
the camera
yeah.
on me.
So there's a bit of that,
Oh, wow.
but that was pretty funny. But the next season,
Tell me about next season. I forgot about
Is
this.
Extinction Island or Extinction something to do with Extinction?
I can go and watch it if you want to pause.
No, I don't want to pause.
It's only
I want
15
to roll
minutes.
through it. I want to roll through it.
Okay, let's go.
So they've got a whole bunch of new people with 4 returning players. We've got Aubry.
Yep.
We've got Joe.
Yep.
And they didn't say the other 2 players.
Oh.
There was a photo. There was the picture of them, but it was really quick, and I obviously just noticed Joe. Swooned.
Yeah, I know. But do you want me to go and quickly and look? Because I'll know.
No. Yeah, we'll get to that after this. But
Aubrey's always. I don't know why Aubrey's coming back, but she in Millennials. So Karen Ra, right? Her game was pretty good, but it blew up because of 3 evacs, right? But in the game changes when she came back, her game was pretty average.
Okay, so
Joe though, we always love Joe.
We love Joe. We love a Joe. We love a Malcolm. But Joe's got this.
Aussie.
Joe's got this little pirate mustache going on. He's got this little curling up Frenchish pirate mustache.
So they're basically throwing some returnees into the mix.
Yes, and a friend of mine who's now a recent friend of mine. He's a nut of the show as well, like us. Yeah. He said he's probably more of a nut because he goes into all the forums and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he says, rumor has it that Extinction Island, or whatever it's called, when they get voted out, they can choose to go to this extinction place and they get nothing. There's nothing on this island. They can survive.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can opt out, but apparently they can come back into the game. I don't know much about it, but there might be 4 tribes.
It might be like, remember what they did in Pearl Islands? Where
Exile.
No, in Pearl Islands,
where
everybody who got voted off actually formed another tribe.
Yeah.
Then they came and competed in one of the immunity challenges.
Yeah.
And if
like
they won,
or something.
Yeah, they got to vote 2 of their members back into the game.
Yeah.
So it might be something like that.
Something similar to that. I'm not 100% sure, but they might be splitting the tribes into 4 with the 4 returnings leading.
Oh, right, yeah.
Or 2 and 2 on each tribe. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. No,
but that's it.
I'm more keen to find out about what season 40 is going to be.
Yeah, well, the rumour that I've heard is the Legend season.
Well,
so we've got 2 more seasons, 38, 39, 40, 3 seasons to get through. This time next year, we'll be wrapping up.
Season 39.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There's only 2 seasons a year.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting close.
Oh, by the way, when is Extinction Island?
Spring.
Oh, so, no, it should be about our February?
Our start of our autumn.
Yeah, so about February, March?
Yeah, February,
cool.
March.
Excellent. Yeah. So only 2 months.
A few months and we'll be back.
Excellent.
All right, well, I think that's it from us.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in throughout the season.
Yeah, for our few viewers.
Yeah, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Happy Hanukkah, Passover, whatever you celebrate. If you don't celebrate, I've been saying recently, just have an awesome day.
Yeah, and we'll see you for the next season of Extinction Island. Okay?
Yeah. See you guys.
Bye.
We're back.
Hey,
just
we're back.
For a quickie little, because we went and had a quick watch of Edge of Extinction trailer.
That's right.
This is the first time we've done a little tap on at the end here. Right.
Awesome. Looks fantastic. And the 4 returning players are Joe,
we chose
Aubrey, which we've already talked about.
And the other 2.
But the other 2 are awesome. It's going to be Kelly Wentworth, my favourite ever player.
Your favourite ever player. Right. And I've never seen Jack this excited in my life. Like, I get excited all the time.
Kelly's awesome.
I've not seen Jack this excited.
Kelly's awesome. And Dave.
Millennial Gen X.
Yeah, Millennial Gen X. When
he went Dave show.
Yep, they went head to head, right? And Dave looks really a lot different to what he did back then,
he's put on maybe some muscle or some weight of some description.
But he just looks more confident, doesn't he?
Well, 39 days on the island will do that for you. It's
so,
like you're not afraid of anything anymore.
Those are the returnees, and I think they've chosen, despite what I've said about Aubry, I think they've chosen 4 good choices.
Yeah, well, look.
I've been waiting for Kelly to come back.
You have been waiting for her to come back.
I thought she might have gotten maybe season 40. But I'm happy to see it now.
Look, and I'm always happy for a Joe. I do love me a Joe.
That's right.
A Joe and a Malcolm are next level underneath my Aussie. So
absolutely.
I am very excited as well. And cannot wait till we get Edge of Extinction happening.
Well, now this spring, it's going to be end of February, March. Yeah. So we'll be watching it then, and I will be watching it.
You will be. This might be a whole new season for you guys seeing Jack this excited.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
This is going to be awesome. No, Dave and I've not nothing against Joe. I've said Aubrey's but Kelly and Dave are both very good players.
Yeah, but your Kelly is my Aussie, and I've got Aussie many a times. I've got Aussie 4 times.
The reason I like Dave and Kelly here is because Dave and Neither Dave or Kelly are big physical powerhouses. They are social and strategic.
Yeah.
They will produce strategy and they will act on it. Right?
Yeah.
They're not going to sit back and take. They're not going to be sitting in the back of the bus.
Of course,
right?
but I'm all in on Joe. Joe's going to win. Let's do it, baby.
I'm going all in on Kelly.
All right. Okay, I'm going to think of something over the break. A Joe versus Kelly thing.
Yeah,
and
why not?
we'll have some sort of fun thing happening on the season. All right, okay, this time we're out of here.
Yeah.
See you guys.